Hello, hello. How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Like a new human.
Good. We like that.
My gosh, I have never, Hudson, I'm telling you, I've never
Not fun.
experienced anything like that.
No, and you're a high energy person too, so it's got to be extra annoying.
Oh, I can't even,
Oh my
like, I've been
goodness.
thinking about like days. Is anybody else on here?
Here, they're I'm letting them in right now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm super good.
Hey,
There we go. Oh, look, we're on a road trip today.
sorry, I have a meeting until like 2:30, so I was like, if I don't eat now, I'm never gonna eat. So I had to go grab something.
No, you're totally good. You're totally good. Here comes another. Food is important. All right. Hey, Lindsay. All right.
Hi.
Hey, hey. You're not all in the same place this week. It's so weird. I'm used to seeing you all in the same room. Is anybody else jumping on, or should we just
I think
jump
it's
in it?
just gonna be the three of us, yeah.
Okay. Um, First of all, tell me from your perspective, how is it going? How do we feel? Anything I should know? Talk to me.
Kristen
I don't
brought
care if you're
back
chewing, I
all
won't
this
judge
fun
you.
stuff from Mexico. So she's been
I
kind
know. Oh,
of
are
under
you
the
guys?
weather.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yes. Oh, so fancy.
Yeah.
So what
So
else though? How do we feel? I know we had a meeting, we had some wins from that. Like, how are conversations going? Give me some feedback in general. No right, no wrong, just give me.
I would say that we this week, because we're kind of back to full staff and we're gonna really be able to focus on making our calls. I don't say that we have not put the effort in yet that we should on making those phone calls and talking to people about Bold. We've had a few random
Okay,
signups, but we're going to be doing that after we get off this call. Is going to start hitting the roster hard.
that's fantastic. And no judgment. So 5 weeks out, I feel like we still have time and it has to start now, or else it's gonna start to become a struggle. And it's just not fun when it's a struggle. If we could just get some consistent momentum going, then at least it's an enjoyable process. So anything else I should know? Any other struggles, wins, anything?
Well, I haven't told Lindsay yet or Peyton that you sent me that video this morning, which is fantastic. So I asked Hudson to do one for recruiting. So I've got a video that's going to go out with just to begin those initial conversations via email and text as I make calls. So I've already started making dials for my recruiting pipeline. I started that today for Bold.
So I love that. I'm just going to challenge you. Go wild. Um, because why not? And here's what I will tell you. Here comes Chad. Um, there are no limits. There's other companies are not doing things like this. You guys know that. People don't know what they're missing until they know what they're missing. And so I've had some big successes in the past. Like I've had leadership crews go after like their entire recruiting pond. Like they've just set up a text and an email campaign and they have just hammered them for Bold. And what I will tell you is, I think you can use the name Bold because, I mean, you got to call it something, right? And yet the messaging should be very, very like, don't use any Keller Williams lingo. It is, we have a national sales trainer coming your way. We have an opportunity to create X amount of more income, take whatever your average commission is times 11. Like, make it an attractor and not like, hey, Keller Williams is having this amazing event. We'd like to invite you as our guest. Like it doesn't like if you keep it just very, very much like about them and what they can get out of it. I mean, guys, like you could have like 20 recruits in the room. And how crazy cool would that be? Especially since it's going to be in your office. Talk about immersive. So really, really hype up that opportunity and just don't be afraid to go big with it. You know, having those direct conversations with people who are actually in your pipeline, totally great. And yet go bigger than that. And go to your ALC, go to your top 20%, have them start inviting people directly, their co-op agents, their friends at other companies. Like you could see a huge thing. And the other thing about getting recruits in the room, if your agents have anything to do with it, like if Sally has two people in the room that she's invited, Sally is way more likely to sign up for Bold because guess what? Sally wants to make sure that they convert. So Sally wants to be their buddy while they're in Bold. So just, it's a really, really big thing. So I love that. Can you remind me, because I want to do a quick little mathy math thing. Remind me how many people are on your roster. How many agents do you have? I know it's
Right
around
now.
250, I believe, but
Yeah, but we're taking a hit. We're about 228.
228. Okay, so bear with me. All right, so if we hit the 70 or better, that's 30% of your market center in Bold. I want you, and MCA Brain's probably the best one to do this. Like, think about what that would really do for your office over the next 3 to 6 months if you had 30%. Because what we just so you know, what we see, like less than 20% of a market center in Bold, we of course see the impact on the agents. It's usually not enough to change too much of the numbers as a whole in a market center. Once you get beyond 20%, it starts to really show up. So at 30%, I mean, how much more company dollar is that? Plus, I don't know what your experience with Bold has been. Overall, the experience is an agent that's in Bold is also usually not a flight risk for a good chunk of time. So it's less energy expended on keeping that back door closed when you have them in the Bold room. So what do you think? I mean, there's no right or wrong. I want to hear it from you guys. What do you think 30% or more of your market center in the Bold room in October would do for you over 3 to 6 months? Author it.
Yeah, it's going to double our company dollar.
You think it would double it?
Yeah, I mean, if we have 30% in the room at Bold, 30+%. I mean, right now our producing agents, consistent producing agents is only, around 20%. So if we increase by
Wow.
10%, and then also taking into consideration that it's 10% that's outside of our normal cappers, I mean, that's just, yeah, it's game changer.
Well, I love that. So as you guys are building momentum, as you're starting to really commit to these one-on-one calls, I want you to live in that thought and not like, I got to get more people for Bold. I got to get more people for Bold. Like, I want you to think about what's going to happen. Like, think about the difference in your income because of doing that. And then, like Chad, I'm glad you're on here. I mean, you have PC clients. What if all of them jumped into production right away? Like, how quickly do you start making more money in this new role to yourself? So I really feel like, obviously the opportunity is huge for your actual agents. And I don't question for 1 second that, of course, you guys don't care about them. And yet I do want you to think about what's in it for you as well. Like, you're allowed to want to make money too. You're allowed to desire to work less to keep the people at the market center. So, as you're having these conversations, and the agents are going to do what agents do, and they're going to give you objections, you're not going to get a ton of easy yeses. I want you to remember what's going to happen at the end of this and push through and just choose to be excited about it. All right. Any other thoughts around that? Nope. Okay. One thing that I want to share with you guys that I think is really important for you guys to drive home for people, especially people who have taken Bold before. This is what I was told on Friday. So I've mentioned that Bold is getting a rewrite. I haven't said a lot about it because KWRI is a giant machine, and sometimes things don't always happen when we're told they're going to happen. Cody Gibson looked all of the coaches in the face on Friday, and it's him and Gary doing this. And we are having a brand new Bold in October. And we were surprised at how brand new, in that they're getting rid of most of the bold laws and creating new ones. Like we're talking about like foundationally new, same idea, mindset and action, get them into production. And yet it is a new bold and it is being authored by Gary Keller and second authored by Cody Gibson. Like, and they're doing it
Wow.
together in the room. So I think it's important to really share that message and share it with conviction. People who've never taken bold before, that means nothing to them because they have nothing to compare it to. People who have taken it before and are like, why would he do it again? That whole thing, like that might get some fence sitters right off the edge to know that it's going to be truly new and not just new by course writers, new by Gary. Okay. So so don't be afraid to put that. I was told, spread the word, tell the world. So don't be afraid to share that. Like I'm actually going, all of us were lovingly told we would be rearranging our schedules and flying to Austin towards the end of September to do some training around this and also spend some time with Gary and get some background on why he's doing what he's doing so that we can convey it at a greater level. So so yeah, tell the world, like light it up. You know, it wouldn't be a horrible thing to literally, you know, I want you guys to have the one-on-one conversations, and I also want you to help anywhere that you can with the heavy lifting. There's already, you had the team meeting, so there's obviously some sort of buzz in the office around it. People know it's coming now officially and they're talking about it. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to throw out a Facebook post in your private page and just share like, hey, we just had our meeting with our coach and Bold is completely going to be new and it's being written by Gary Keller himself. Like, I bet you could shake a couple registrations out of just a post like that from somebody who sat in that meeting and thought, you know what, I've taken it 4 times. I don't think I'm going to do it this time. So, so that's that. And then really like, so we've done our team meeting. We've kind of done the big thing there. It's all one-on-one conversations. And I know you guys know that. So what I want to do is just ask you guys, like, because it will take all of you and including people who aren't on the screen, by the way. Like, I think you guys really need to split up your roster so that it's not an unsurmountable thing for any 1 or 2 individuals. Do you think, and Kristen, I'm going to ask you, I mean, anybody on this Zoom can answer for themselves, of course, and yet I know we've got some people who aren't on. Do you think everybody is comfortable and prepared having a proper conversation around Bold, which means it's a care conversation first, and until we find where their gap is, that's when we bring up Bold? Do you think your people are prepared? Again, you guys can answer for yourselves, people.
I do. I think we are.
Okay.
I think all of us are prepared for that conversation.
What about those of you that are on the screen? You guys, you feel good? You get the concept behind that it's not like just Bold down their throat. It's love on them first, find out what's going on, and then Bold.
I definitely like the strategy that you're suggesting where we're kind of just doing our normal care calls and then from there seeing what their pain points are and then suggesting Bold as a prescription. I know that I personally struggle with objections and I
Okay.
tend to roll over pretty quickly. I think it's because I'm already calling AR is a huge issue in our office right
Is
now.
it?
And so it's, you know, we have enough people to call. I'm not going to call anyone that has AR at the moment. Like I might come back and call them, but you know,
Or have someone else call them. You know what I mean? Like have somebody else call them if you're the money person, obviously, that keeps chasing them down. Like maybe that's a list for somebody else, anybody else to call. You know, a quick way to fix the AR issue is get them making money again.
Yeah.
No, and I appreciate that. So what I would challenge you with is just remember that to me, and this translates to an agent on a listing appointment too, like an objection is them saying, yes, I'm interested and I have questions, because otherwise it would just be a thank you for your time, I gotta go. Thanks for coming over, you can leave now. Like if they're giving objections, they're still interested and they just either they have some unanswered questions, they've got some reservations. So, you know, there's a difference in my opinion, there's a difference between being pushy and being persuasive. You know, I'm not asking you to be super creepy with these people and not take no for an answer. I'm asking for you to see through I won't say the word, I will say the letter, see through the BS. Because I know that the vast majority of your agents are struggling on some level right now, period. And I look at it this way, like you can be the friend who says, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry, everything will be okay." Or you can be the friend that says, "No, you need to do this. Like, are you kidding? Like you need to do this and here's why." And I'm going to encourage you all to be the latter. Like be the friend, be the leader, be the colleague that cares enough to call them to the carpet when they're giving you fluff stuff. Like I don't have the money. I don't have the time. It's too far of a drive. I'm too busy. I'm not busy enough. Like all that stuff is junk. Unless they're, this is, and I truly believe this, unless they are fully on track to hit all of their goals, every goal they set for themselves, by the way, business and personal. If they're not on track for every single goal, they should be there. If they don't wake up every morning excited for their day, they should be there. So you might have this many people in your market center that truly have a reason not to be there. Everybody else should be. And, I just want you guys to live in this, like live in opportunity land for right now, which is what if you just got a crazy turnout? Like think about it for a second. I know the original goal was 100 and then we backed down, which is fine. What if you had 100 people in that room? What energy would that create for the next 6 months in your market center? So I want you to really, really, I'm going to ask you to really, really push. The conversations will get uncomfortable, which is why you've got to commit to a certain amount of day so that you'll get them done. And it probably shouldn't be 20, unlike in the bold room, because you'll probably go crazy. Like you're going to get pushback. You're going to need to spread this out. And yet my advice to you, knowing that you want to have a really successful bold launch, and I know you want to fill that room, and I know you want to disrupt and get recruits in the room, you're going to have to be adding people constantly. You can't have a week that goes by with no growth. I'm not saying you will, by the way. I'm just saying you can't have that. So what I would like to get from you guys, and I want you to offer it because I'm not here to tell you what your goal is. I think you should all, as a staff, have an agreement that you are going to have X amount of conversations every day. And I don't care what the number is, so don't think you got to say something crazy, right? That you're each individually going to have X amount of conversations every day. And what I mean by that is like, you're going to go out of your way to have this conversation, not, I know people swing by the office and you're going to bring it up. People stop at the front desk and they're going to bring it up. Those are great. I'm not saying stop doing that. And yet, a certain number of people a day that you're going to proactively pick off a list and call and have that care conversation with, or walk down to their office if they're in the building, right? So that's one thing I'm looking for is, as a staff, how many are you each going to speak to? Because this is going to take everybody working together. And then another goal that I'd like to get from you, and there is no right or wrong, I want y'all to have a goal so you can have a win. How many full bolds do you plan to create by the next time we meet next week? So either one first, tell me what they are so that I can ever so lovingly hold you accountable.
I will start. I would like to see us I liked your 11 signups a week kind of
Okay.
motivation. So we're at 14. So I think that we have a little bit of a gap, but I'd like to have an additional 12 people sign up by the end of this week. I don't know if that's hitting.
Do any of you get weak in the knees hearing that number, or are you okay with that? Because I want you to be committed to it.
No, I just knew that 11 per week was supposed to be our number. So I just assumed that's what we were going to go for.
Well, the current number is actually 12. So it's changed
12.
a bit because depending on, so the funny thing is I did not tell you that and you threw that random number out. So I feel like that's a little kismet. If you added 12 in the next 7 days, you would be 100% on track for your goal by step one, not like including gravy at step one. So are we good with 12?
Yep.
You have a full week to do it, my friends.
Yep.
That is not I need you to hear this from me. I've been given crazy goals before. That's not a crazy goal. You can do that. All right. So and you guys can banter around it if you want a little bit. Like, I don't want this to be like a Kristen Rule thing unless you want to. Like, what is a number of conversations that you can commit to having proactively every single weekday? Of course, I'm talking about work days.
I would say I could commit. This seems low, and I apologize if it's low, but I can commit
Nope,
to
just give me a number.
5 phone calls a day because I'm in transmittal the next couple days, so it might increase next week. But I can commit to at least 5 conversations today. I can make more than 5
Okay.
calls, 5 conversations today is my
Yeah,
goal.
yeah, 5 actual conversations. Yeah, that's what I want to. Does that number sound like something all of you can commit to, or did some of you just go, oh, God, I don't have time for that? Because I want us to decide on a number together, and then if you want to do more, you do you. I'm into it. Like, let's pick a number that we can all stick to, because I think a little congruency helps.
I was gonna say I think 5 is great, but I was actually thinking 3 a day. Because if that's 5 of us being Susan, Chad, Kristen, Lindsay, myself, that's 15 calls a day. So 15, bring that into next Tuesday. I think it'd be very easy to hit our 12 people, but also being respectful of our crazy schedule that things just come up.
Totally get it.
5, maybe we meet in the middle,
Just,
or I don't know.
I wrote down 3.
well, again, okay. So why don't we do 3? And look, it's a minimum standard. There is no rule that this is not the highway. You can go faster if you want. So you want to have your 5, I think that's great. You want to talk to 70 one day, you do you, but let's commit to 3. Okay. And so my ask is that,
What'd you say?
I was asking Chad. Chad, you
Oh.
cool with the 3?
I'm good with 3. That's actually the number that I was thinking as well. Mine's not necessarily gonna be phone calls. Mine's gonna be face to face. So
Totally fine.
I'll focus on because I'm coming in as a newbie. I know nothing. I've never done bold. I'm 3 weeks into KW. The Kool-Aid from Mega Agent Camp is still coursing through my veins. I'm riding that high. So I think I'm a unique position maybe to kind of come in, because what I'm hoping to do is, and I'm finding on a daily basis, I'm having conversations with people that I've never talked to before, and
love
then
it.
kind of coming in as a new guy. Well, hey, and then find a way to take bold and marry that with the PC program. So if they're in the program, how are we going to? Yeah, we're going to do bold 1 day a week, but the other 4 work days and 6 other days a week, what are we doing to work that together? So
Well, and Chad, you are going to, because you're taking bold, right? You're registered, aren't you? I
yes,
believe you are.
yes.
You're going to pick up new coaching clients at the end of bold. Some maybe before bold is over, because here's the thing. When people are in a coaching environment, often they want more of it. And there's going to be a lot of people in that room who either will not qualify or will not be ready to commit to like MAPS coaching. And you are the natural next step for them. So you're going to have a huge opportunity. So of course, get your current PC people in the room, and yet anybody else that you help get in that room and just kind of be visible. And when we get going into class, I'll kind of give you some pointers on how you can participate at a high level and be visible as a coach and not just another person in the room. You will pick up so much business. So cool. So we are going to create 12 new registrations between now and next week. We are going to commit to a minimum of 3 conversations a day that are care conversation related, and then bold is the prescription for the gaps that we find. If we are struggling at any point, we are going to reach out to Mr. Coach Hudson, who will help you. I am here to help you. I will not judge you nor make fun of you to your face. Okay. So if you need to role play any of those conversations, please don't be shy. Like, I genuinely want you guys to have a massive, ridiculous, just stupid amount of people in this bold to where your checks are just so overly inflated the next few months. Like, I just want it to be insane. Okay, so are there any other questions for me before I let you go?
No, thank you for the video.
You're welcome. If you need anything else, let me know. And the last thing I'll leave you with is and I know I'm such a broken record. I'm totally cool with it. I'm just acknowledging it so you don't think I have dementia. They will match your energy. Guys, be excited. Pretend to be excited. If you're a very naturally like quiet and withdrawn person, just pretend you're like a cheerleader. Like, if you are excited, and I don't mean you literally need to be crazy, and yet if you sound excited, if you sound like you genuinely desire to help them and not just get a bold registration, you guys will blow past your goal. And one last reminder is also, when they say yes, get them registered right then. it will be so worth the extra 2 minutes that you take because they don't do it otherwise. You will chase them
Yeah.
for the next 5 weeks. It will be so annoying. All right, so have a great week. I'm giving you like 4 whole minutes back. You're welcome. You can go to the bathroom
you.
today and let me know if you need anything else. All right, have a great one.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.